Again, good evening, everybody. So let us start our class this evening. Sorry, it's rainy evening, and thank you so much for coming in this lecture in this rainy evening. So as you see, according to our schedule, we are in the second half of this course. So far we discussed that's the basic program structures, that the basic things you need in order to learn programming. Okay. So far we discussed how to declare a variable, how to use a variable, how to do arithmetic operations, logical operations, any kind of operations, and especially we learned how to do selection operation and looping repetition, that means loop control statements. So these are the main foundation of programming. Once you learn this, then you should proceed on with the main like what other like main branch of programming. So that will start from method and then array and then class, object, those things. So class and object are the part of our second course, object oriented programming, that's called CS2 course. But in this course you will learn some basic introduction to class, object, inherit, and that's it. But you will learn also how to declare function or methods, and then most importantly how to access large scale data, large number of data using array. That we will discuss. That's the main things, two, three things. We have main things left. So at this point, I believe that what I told you at the beginning of this semester, I will taught you how to walk on the field of programming, right? So at this point, I think if you understand this, up to module 4, you should be able to stand confidently on the field of programming, right? What do you mean by stand? Then at this point, you should understand that you should know that what is a program, how to write a program in 3 programming languages, C++, Java, and C#, as well as how to execute codes, and how to and also understand the at least some, what are they called, functionalities of these languages. So at this point I need to tell you, one of the major outcome of this course is that you will be learning how to solve a problem using algorithm, as well as 3 programming languages, Java, C++, and C#. So, but maybe here is the point that you are confusing, some of you. This course is unlike the lab course. Everybody is taking a lab course, right? Everybody is taking a lab course. This course is completely different and independent to the lab course. Okay? In your lab course, you are focusing only one language, either Java or C++ or C#, right? But in this course, you are learning 3 languages. No matter what is your lab course and what is your language in your lab course, that is not a matter to me. Okay, in this course you have to learn 3 languages. Okay, so whatever program we discuss, that main programming concept, so we mainly start with pseudocode, then we convert in sometime in all 3 languages, and sometime at least in one of the languages. And then our goal, that from the beginning I told you that you should already learn that how a C++ program looks like, how a Java program looks like, and you should be able to understand how to convert a program in from C++ to Java, from Java to C#, from Java to C++ as well, from one of the languages, right? Okay, so far whatever we discussed, So far, whatever we discussed, there are only few differences among these three languages. How many of you can remember what are the differences that among the three languages, C++, Java, and C#? That the key point or key structure, key tool of programming we have discussed so far. What are the differences in these three languages? So we are discussing, in this course we are learning all three languages, right? Again, I am giving you a reminder that no matter what is your lab course, this course does not have any relation with your lab course. It is not that you are taking a Java lab, so this is why you are coming here to learn Java. No. You are here to learn how to solve problem using in all these three programming languages. Look at this, open the syllabus and look at the course schedule, course outcome, please, if you're still confused. Okay. So far, I discussed everything in this lecture, this course. I have found not more than 5 differences across these languages. Let me go through this, and then if you recall something else, please let me know. The first difference is the structure of the main method, then output statement, then input statement in some keywords, and then switch case statement. That's the 5 differences so far I recall and I know of. But if I forget something and if you know something, please let me know. Okay, so what is this? Okay, the first difference among the languages is the main method, right? How the main method is structured. So everybody knows that, right? So if you see that this program, this main method, this is C++, and this is Java, and this is in C#. In C#, sometimes we use namespace. If we use Visual Studio, then you will see, excuse me. If you use Visual Studio, then you will see that a program starts with a namespace. Namespace is a container. Like in Java, we use, what is that called? Package. A package or a namespace container that contain multiple classes. Okay. So in C++, is an object-oriented programming and also is a procedure-oriented programming. In C++, we can write a program in object-oriented fashion or in procedural fashion. So far, the program we are discussing in C++ all are in procedural fashion. We did not write any C++ program in object-oriented concept. We have to wait 2 more weeks when we start object-oriented programming, okay? So everybody understand that this is the code for C++, right? Everybody understand? And you understand that this is the program with Java, right? And this is the program with C#, right? Okay, now this is the first difference. Okay, the second difference is that the output statement. In C++, we write output cout, and then we concatenate some string and variable using 2 backslashes. This is the output stream operator. 2 less than sign together, okay? And then Java, we use system.out.println method, and we use plus sign to concatenate a string with a variable, right? And in C#, we use console.writeLine. Everybody understands this, right? Okay. Okay, then the third difference is that in terms of input statement, this is a little bit trickier among all of the 5 differences that so far I put. So in C++ is easy, very easy. Then we use cin, and then this is input stream, 2 greater than sign, and then we write the variable name. But the cin has a limitation that it does not take any space. Okay, if you want to enter your full name, that takes first name space last name, cin does not work. So then you have to use getLine method as this format, cin dot variable name. I discussed this in your program. And then in Java, you have to import a scanner class and then we have to create a scanner object, and then you use this scanner object with next line method to input a string, and for instance next int to input an integer number, and there are some built-in methods. Okay, and in C#, same thing like you have to use read line method, and based on the type of the variable there are some parser classes. We use those parser classes. You will learn this in depth when you in depth, not in this course, section 1322 course, but when you will be more familiar with class and object when it's after 2 weeks. But for now, I asked you to memorize this code, right? Okay, that is the third differences. And fourth difference in some keywords, like in C++ and Java and C# use bool keyword to declare a Boolean variable, right? And Java use Boolean. That is the difference, right? Okay, so far we covered only one keyword. There are some other keywords that are different language to languages. And last one is the switch case statement. We show it in the program that in switch case statement, C# does not allow to have any missing break statement, but C++ and Java allow. Remember, I showed in the demo program that when you miss a break in C# program, it will give you an error instantly. So this is the 5 differences so far we encountered. We have faced, this is the 5 differences. And if you remember these 5 differences, then you should be able to convert a C++ program into Java, a Java program into C++ or a C#, right? And in this course, the objective, according to the objective of this course, you need to do that. You need to understand any program in all of these 3 languages. Okay, so how many of you are taking Java lab in this course? Can you please raise your hand? Please raise your hand. Keep your hand raised up. Java lab, you are taking Java lab. 1, can someone please help me to count down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23? Yeah, can you please count down? How many of you are taking C++ lab? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Professor, is this PowerPoint like on the SIE page?
No, I just made it up. Maybe I sent it to Dean to upload it.
Wait, so are you saying you uploaded it on D12?
Yeah, I can upload it on D12.
Yeah.
Okay, I can upload it on D12. I asked them to upload it on first year experience page. They will have it. How many of are you taking C# lab? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C#, yeah. Okay. Okay, can any Joe, you can help me to count them. Okay, that now why did I count them? They asked you to raise your hand. I don't have any relationship. Okay? It is not any matter for me that what layer you are taking. Okay? In this course, as long as you are in this course, you have to learn all 3 languages. Okay? Someone help me to count down how many programs, live programs so far I discussed in this class. So 37, right? So many you got 37. Is someone found that 20 in Java, 9 in C# and 8 in C++. Okay, that means that 20 Java program is for all of you, not for the Java people. Okay, remember that? That 20 Java program that I discussed so far, also for all of you, and that 9 C# program I discussed all for all of you, and that 8 C++ program I discussed for all of you, no matter what lab you are taking it. Please remember this in future, and this is why you have to practice in all 3 languages. This is one of the important outcome of this course, is that at the end of this course you will be able to program in 3 languages. Okay, so whenever I write a program in Java, that do not misunderstand that I am giving special favor for the people who are taking Java lab. No, I'm not giving favor, because as long as I discussed all of the 5 differences, okay, then it should not be a problem. For instance, the if, else, else if is same pattern for all languages, right? The for loop is same pattern, while loop, do while is same pattern for all languages. So another thing, when this course material was developed 3 years ago, around 3 years ago, at that time maybe the slides were maximum 20 slides, 30 slides in each module. Now if you open the slides, then you will see 100 slides. If a module you open 100 slides, because every semester we are updating. We are 4 professors, we are working together to improve our course content, and every semester we are adding something. So initially our goal was something different, and now we have maybe like our course content is getting, what is that called? Adding more. Maybe it is getting complicated, but you are learning something new and better way.
Yeah, they show in the slides, they show programs in different languages as well.
Yes, this is why it show. Initially it was last year, even last semester it was Python course. Okay, so then we decided from last semester, no, we are not going to teach Python. We are going to teach C++. So then they replaced C++, but still there are some mistakes in our slides. Especially there were some mistakes that this week I just asked to fix them. Maybe they fixed it. Especially for instance in pseudocode guide. So there are something I personally asked them to fix it. Maybe they sent me an email. They said they fixed it. For instance, one of my okay, I opposed not to use the back arrow. If you remember that, previously it was back arrow, right? In pseudocode writing, I personally oppose that. No, I don't like back arrow, because I saw that some students, they tried to write back arrow, and while writing back arrow, some of them did mistake like this. Some of them write, especially for some online students, in order to write back arrow like this, sometimes they did write this way and this are equal sign. So our grader deduct points, and they have given. They have given, no, this is not less or equal to, this is my backward assignment operator, right? So there is a scope to do mistake, and it took time to print, to type in like this, to assign, for instance, x 5. And we are familiar with x equal to 5 to write in a very shortcut way. So they said they fixed it. I see that they fixed it, but maybe still there are some places you may encounter like this backslash array. But if you see those, please fix it yourself. Okay, all back arrows should be replaced by equal sign. This is assignment operator. Okay. Still there are some mistakes in our slides. I asked them to fix it. Maybe it will take some time. We will discuss this in my for instance here, because they did not declare the data return type of function. I asked them to declare. Okay, I will share this. I will ask them to upload this on FastEd experience page. If they do not, I will put it in your D12. Everybody get it, okay? So this is the 5 differences. that so far I know of that are the difference language to language. Anyone recall any more difference? Anyone know any more difference that we face so far from language to language? Okay, if you find any difference from language to language so far, you know what is that?
So in Java, it can be pretty much like any variable type, but in C sharp, you have to, it can only be a string, so you have to convert it to either like a double or a float or a shell.
Are you talking about here?
Yeah, I'm talking about like C sharp and Java.
Okay, C sharp, this for instance, this is string variable name. Okay, so C sharp string S is in Java string S is in uppercase, and in C sharp it is S is in uppercase or lowercase, both.
They're both the same.
Yeah, both they work same way. No, but you see the radical difference. This is scanner, and C sharp does not have scanner. It has read line. Okay, so everybody please remember these 5 differences, and these 5 differences are easy to remember, right? Only except this one is difficult. And if you go to my Replit account, you see that I have programs written in all like keyboard input, keyboard string input, like this program I have in C++, Java, and C sharp lab. Okay. Okay, so as you know that these 5 differences, but please be ready that there are more differences coming soon, especially when starting from tonight, when you discuss function and then later class and object and array declaration and use of this element, there are some major differences language to language.
So will you be able to see examples and
Yes,
all the different?
for every differences I know of, we'll give you an example. Okay, but for every difference I face, we'll give you an example. But if there is no difference, I will start only one language. I will go through only one language. This is why my request is that do not ask me to convert like this. If a program has like very simple statement like this, do not ask me to convert this in your favorite language. You may have a favorite language. I have a favorite language. Okay. Okay, I learned first language object-oriented programming in C++. C++ is my favorite, was my favorite language. I wrote a book on C++ and I taught 10 years, at least 10 years on university level, undergraduate and graduate level C++ and object-oriented programming. But when I came to USA, I see that no people work with C++, and then I worked on company, and then no company works with C++. They work with Java. Then I worked about 5 years in company industry. Then we use Java. Okay, and in my actually sometimes you see that I frequently select get a code from my Java or Eclipse, because I have, remember, believe me, I have thousands of programs written in Java. You see that how many repositories I have. One repository is one project. On one project, for instance, this project has, if you start with CSE1321. Okay, so this repository has, you see that I have some programs with C sharp, C++, and Java. For instance, in this one project, I have maybe 100, maybe several hundred programs. And when I wrote my book, I wrote a book Java on This is the first book I wrote in Java, C++ and object-oriented programming in 2000, about 20 years ago, right? There's 600 pages, and that book there are about 400 programs written in C++. And at that time, I taught C++ for more than 10 years, only C++. And then I wrote my book on Java in 2001, right? So 712 pages, that book. This book had about 500 programs written in Java. So while working in companies and then teaching over here, and actually I know, in my recent book, I know which program is in which chapter. So quickly I can go to my repository and I can get a program over there. This is why maybe sometimes frequently I will get some code from Java. But remember that whenever, no matter which language I select, if there is a difference, definitely I will tell the difference from language to language, okay? Okay, so be ready. So let us start our lecture tonight. So according to our resource, and then so this week, okay, again, now so far we have learned how to stand on the field of programming. So far you should be able to stand, but just I am using as a synonym, okay, on the field of programming confidently yourself alone, okay. Now let us start walking on the field of programming, but slowly, step by step, okay. Don't hurry, okay. Let us go together and slowly. I know I am considering here that there are some students that do not know anything. And if you have some previous programming experience, stay tuned with me. Definitely you will learn something. Okay, so in this module we will learn methods and data passing. So method, in general, it is other name. Otherwise it is called function, or a procedure, or a routine, or a subroutine, or a task. Okay. So a function is a logical grouping of some statements that are bound together under a name, okay, that perform something. In order to perform something by a function, okay, we call the function or we use the function. Using of a function is called call of a function, okay, or invoking of a function. So far, the function we use like the built-in function. One of the major benefits of using function is the reusability. When you write some code, then you give a name of that code, and whenever you need to use that block of code in another place, even this program or another project, the way is to save this code in a good manner so that you can reuse that. That is the way, one of the way is to use function. It is the implementation of abstraction. At the beginning of this course, we talk about abstraction, right? We discuss about abstraction, right? So far, you should be familiar with using at least one function across the languages, in all languages. Okay. So Java people, tell me a name of a function that you know of. There are two kinds of major functions are classified in two major types. One is called library function or built-in function that are already built in within the program, the compiler, okay, with the program package, and those are not sufficient for us. So this is why we need to create our own function for our own purpose. That is what we learn in this chapter. So far we are already familiar with some function, but I like you to recall some name of at least one name of a function. So let us start with Java. What is the Java function name you remember? Tell me at least one function name. Remember? Yes. Yes, print line. Print ln. In Java we say print ln, right? In Java we say print ln. Okay, so then you see the Java, and then what is another function name in C sharp? Yeah, C sharp people who are taking C sharp lab should know it. What is a function in C sharp? Tell me one function name. Huh? C sharp, I said. Already over here on the screen. Huh? Yes, right line. Okay, maybe I told you the trick how to know is that this is a function. Whenever after a name, whenever you see a group of parentheses, one pair of parentheses, then in 99% case that is a function. Okay, the easy way to remember that this is a function, how? By looking this parentheses. Okay, whenever you see a pair of parentheses, this is a starting parenthesis, right? And this is the ending parenthesis. So then this is a function. What is the function name? Println is a function name. Later we will know what is called system, what is called out. Later you will know. And here right line is a function. Okay. So in addition to this println or write line, I need to know at least one more function from Java and C sharp. Any more function than you recall for Java? Huh? Java does not have read line. Yes, Java has next line, and in C sharp, C sharp has read line, right? And this is also a function. This is a 2 int 32. It is also a function. Sometimes one function calls or use another function within its belly. That means within its parentheses. Okay. So this function is called this STAMI. This function 2 int 32 function is using calling this function readline function within its parentheses, right? So both this is readline a function and this is 2 int 32 is also a function. Okay. Now for C++, people, tell me name of at least one function that you are familiar with so far, you have used. Okay. C++. Joe? Okay, my bad. Cout is not a function. No, cout is not a function. Cout is output stream. Okay, and C no is not a function. So the goal is that.
How is cout not a function, but print line is a function?
Yes, print line. So the trick I told you how to know this is a function. We by looking at parentheses, right? Does cout need a parenthesis? Cout has a parenthesis? No, then this is not a function. Okay, so any function you remember? Yes. Okay, if that is the exception, I said 99%. If actually is not a function, but you can say function. If and while has a parenthesis, right? But those are not actual functions. I said 99% cases that are, a function by looking parenthesis. Those are two the exceptions. In C++. Huh?
Is C in a function?
No, C is not a function. C does not have use parentheses.
Well, either the next
Yes, square root, but so far we did not. I did not use square root. Maybe you are advanced, then you can use.
Namespace std, is that okay?
Namespace in Java we use namespace, or C++ we use namespace. Namespace is not a function, but I'm giving you just one thing we used. Maybe you forgot. Read line, get line.
Yes.
Get line is the only function, built-in function so far we have used.
But it says cin, right there too.
No, get line uses scene within. So get line is a function. C is not in function. Get line itself is a function. How do I know it's function? It has parentheses, right? At the end of this function name, we use a parenthesis. This is the easiest way to remember this function. Okay. So far, this is the only C++ function we used so far. And be ready, we will use and more in future. But you see that whatever function we so far use, these functions are completely different in language to language, right? Okay, the C++ has C function that has different structure, format to use, and then C# has completely different function. like for instance read line and then 2 int 32. Okay, let me see if I get my string keyboard string input example 1 cpp. Let me see this one, this program. Okay, let us recall. In this program I have used getLine function. So what is the use of getLine over here? So yeah, I can use my name, full name. Whenever we say full name, we have first name and last name, right? There is a space in between. So whenever we say getLine, for instance, if I use get, then okay, whatever name is here. So here it is taking my full name, but if I would give this scene instead of just scene instead of getLine, then it will not take my full name. Whatever I say, if I give my name like this way, it will take only the first part before the space. Okay, don't worry, so far we have learned. So if you have time, then do not leave, please. Okay, we will start and you will learn something new tonight. Okay, so now let us go to the slide. So a function in general is called a method whenever a function is declared within a class. Then it is called, it has a special name, it's called a method. Whenever a person goes to school, right, he is called a student, right? And whenever a person teaches, then he is called a teacher. So a teacher is a human being, a student is a human being, and then for instance like other human being. But they have special name like student, teacher, right? So according to your profession. So whenever a function is defined, you will see within a class, then that is called method. So usually in this course or in this chapter, whenever we say function or method or procedure, you understand same thing. We are talking about same thing, okay? Oh, main method. We discussed main method, right? In other across the 3 languages, main method has a different structure in C++, Java, and C#. So, for instance, why do we need to declare a function? For instance, if you see that there are some code that are needed to reuse, that are needed to reuse or use repeatedly again and again, and some more than one places, then we should declare that code as a function. For instance, here there are some codes over here, so that are using multiple times. So instead of writing these codes again and again, we just can give them as a name over here, and then we can call this method by that name. For instance, if we say my function, if give this code name as my function, then instead of writing this code, first we will write my function, then all of the entire statement within this function will be executed. Okay, for instance, this is the advantage of using function, and it is called reusability of a function. Okay, so a function, what is a function? A function is a block of statement, okay, that performs something according to its body. And a function is structured like is this way. A function mainly it has a header, function header, and it has a function body, or say method header or method body. Okay, so how does this function header look like? This is the header. For instance, this is the header. Okay, and function body start with a curly brace. Some languages do not need curly brace, like Python. Python do not use curly brace, but it's indentation. and function body start with a curly brace and it ends with a curly brace, and within this body you can have it the code that you want to execute. Okay, so but you see that although it is written over here, then it is applicable for Java, C#, and C++, but not exactly not. There are some differences between language to language. I will cover the differences wherever applicable. Okay, so this is a function, and then this line is called, actually this line is called function header. So whenever you see put a function header ended with a semicolon, then sometimes it is called function signature. Function signature is means how the function will look like. It says this is a public type function. You will know what is public later. For now it is mean you will know what is static later when we discuss class object, but for now let us think this one. This is int. Okay, this int means this is the return type of this function. After executing the code of a function, the function can return a value. So whenever we say value or data, right, every data has a type, right? Whenever my name data has a type, string type, right? My age has a type, right? My weight has a type. So am I active or not? That has a type, boolean type, right? So according to a return type, what kind of value it is returning, there should have a return type over here. Sometimes if we do not want to return any value, then that is called void. We need to write explicitly void. In our pseudocode, there are some problems that pseudocode, in some places return types are not explicitly mentioned. We need to fix it. I will tell you what to fix, and then our pseudocode guideline will be fixed soon. So return type is very important thing. We will discuss this soon. Okay, but for now, let me see. Okay, so here I will come back here. So now let us go to a live program. So whatever I showed over here, so let us see how this code is executed, how this code is written in a language. Okay, for instance, let me copy just this code segment. Okay, so let us start a very simple program, not in complicated program like in C++. Some method example1 CPP. This is the main method. Okay, this is my method, sum method. Okay, so what is we are doing there in this method? So this is the, how do I know that this is the method? It has a parenthesis, pair of parenthesis, right? So whenever we see that there are some variables declared within the parenthesis of a method, then these variables are called argument variables or parameter. Okay, so here what this method does, it adds up it gets two numbers and it adds up the numbers whatever in between the range. So here whatever you say using namespace standard, then so here if I so this is our method decoration. Okay, so now how do we need to declare a method only one time, but we can call that method as many times as I need. How do I call this method? I call the name, write the name of the method, and then if I have to look at the signature or header of the method. According to the signature, this method takes two integer type variable, right? So I have to pass two integer type, for instance 1, 2 and 10. If I run this program, okay, so actually there is no print statement over here. So if I say cout sum, so it is showing me 55. What is the 55 is coming from? So it is taking the what it is doing according to this function, I will discuss later. Okay, so it is adding up all of the numbers between 1 to 10. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus something like this. Okay, up to 10 is 55, right? And then if we put in, okay, so here let me put end line, and then we call this function, same function with 1 to 10. If we call this function with 1 to 5, then it will give us a different result. If we call this function with 1 to 100, it will give us a different result. So here is that we declare this function, we declare a function only one time, and we call the function as many times as we need. I don't need the hello world. So here the first time it will print up what is the 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, 15, right? The first time it is showing 15. The second time it is showing 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to 10, 55, right? And then third time the general formula is like this. General formula is summing up 1 to n equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2, right? So here n is the last number. How many numbers? So 10 times 11 divided by 2 is 55. So now you know this. So now in shortcut you know how to declare a function, right? Right? So now be ready. So this is in C++ format, but it is different in Java and C#. Okay, in C++ we can write programs in two ways: using an object-oriented programming, using a class, declare a class, or just in normal fashion, procedure-oriented programming. There is no class over here. This is a procedure programming. So here in C++, give attention please. Everybody please give attention. In C++, if you want to use a function, you must declare that before you use it. So here on the first time I am using on line number 15, right? So I must declare it before line number 15. So if I declare this after line number 15, it should not work. I don't know about how compiler works. It will not work. Okay, one difference I got it. You remember that this is a rule that if you want to use a function, then you must declare that before you use it. So what is meant by before? So this is the line number 6 I am using this function, right? So I must declare it before this place, before 6. So before 6, and one thing remember that you cannot declare a method within another method. You can call a method within another method, but you cannot declare a method within another method. So here is main method, right? You cannot declare this some method within main. You cannot do that. This is another rule, right? So where do I need to declare? Outside this main method. So this is the only place I have to declare, right? So then this program will work. Now remember that if my sum method or another method is not this simple, if it is 1000 lines, while working in a company, I worked in an insurance company, I have found a function, only one function, 76,000 lines. Remember one function or one class maybe. One class has 76,000 lines statements. But how do we know, we understand that functionality of that entire program? By piece, not all together. Okay, so two rules, right? What is the first rule? In C++, this is only for C++, remember that. Whenever you use a function, you must declare it before you use it. And second rule is that you cannot declare, that is for all languages, you cannot declare a method within another method. Must be outside method, okay? So this is the reason, for instance, if my sum method is 1000 lines, so then I will lose my attention what is my main method. So there is a way. So if you declare your method after you where is then there is a way that you can put a signature line over there before that, then it is fine, then this will work. So this is called the signature line of this method. Okay, this is called a signature of method. Signature means that I am telling my compiler or main method that I have a method named sum declared somewhere, okay, in my project. Be ready to use that, giving an acknowledgement. Okay, so you see that if I do not give this, if I do not use this statement, then my program will give me error, right? But if I use this signature, then it is fine, right? So how many rules I know? I will answer that. 3, right? 3, 4 rules, right? You cannot declare a method within a method, right? You declare a method one time and use it as many times as you need. Okay, in C++, in order to use a method, you must either declare the method before you use it, or at least you need to put a header line. How many minutes I do have? So let us convert this sum method in C# and Java. I told you that it is different in language to language. There are some major differences in one language to another language from C# and Java. Okay, so let us use this only this program, this method. Let us copy this method and we want to put in C++. So here C# and Java are object-oriented programming language, okay, in object-oriented fashion. So how do I know that this program is an object-oriented program? Whenever you see a class, whenever a program starts with a class, then for now remember that that is an object-oriented program. But in C++, the program, there is no class, right? So this is not an object-oriented program. Remember that. Okay, but this is C# program is an object-oriented program. So where should I declare that my method? We said that we cannot declare my method, the sum method, within main method, right? Within main method. So we need to declare outside the main method. Okay. So we need to must declare inside the class. Outside means outside the main method, but inside the class. Inside the class, so for instance, here is a position I can declare here. Okay, so then how do I call this sum method? In C# we use cout, right? And C# in C++ we use C#, right? And in C# do we have cout? No, we have for instance sum over here. So one more time, I wrote 1 to 5. Okay, if I run this program, it will do. Okay, I'm sorry. What is the error? An abstract required. Okay. Okay, it needs public. Sorry. Okay, in Java, in C# and Java, we need to use public static. These two extra keywords. Whenever you learn object-oriented programming, then you will understand. Okay. For now, do not ask questions. I will not tell you. I will not be able to teach you what is called public and what is called static. For now, remember that in order to declare a method in C# or Java, you need to use public and static, this extra thing, right? Okay. And the other thing are same, right? Here you see that this is I'm here in this place I am calling this sum method. Here in C#, since this is an object-oriented programming, I can keep this my method anywhere before my sum main method or after my sum method, as long as it is within my class, main class. This is the startup of my class, right? And this is the end of my class. As long as my function is declared within the class, it is fine. It will work. it will not be a problem, okay? And but in C++, what is the problem? Since this is not an object oriented programming, I must declare it before, or at least I need to put a signature. That is the difference, in one difference in across C++ and Java function, right? And C# function. And this is C# and C++. And let us convert this program into some method. Example 1. I want to get the same name so that you can get it in Java. Okay, Java and C# are pretty identical. Okay, since both Java and C# are object-oriented programs, isn't right? How do I know this is an object-oriented program? You start with a class, right? Everything should be within class. You cannot put anything outside the class. Class is a container. So here in my class, in my sum method, I can put in my Java program, I can put either, I must put outside this main method, I can put before main method. So you should remember that this is class, this is main class, but this is main method. How do I know that this is the method? This is the symbol of a method, right? Parenthesis. So I can put before or after, no matter. And how do I call the sum method? Maybe 1, 5, something like that. And I call 1, 10, and I call 1, 100. And it is working. So now at least we have learned how to write a method, very simple method, like the main method, in 3 languages, right? In all 3 languages. And I'm telling you about, you need to understand this code in all 3 languages. You cannot tell that I am taking Java lab, so I will not learn C++ or C#. There is no way for this course. Okay, so you see. So now let us see the compare. So here in this is in Java code, right? So here I can put this code before my main method or after my main method, it will do something. Okay, and another rule. So far I discussed 4 or 5 rules, right? Across the languages, how to declare a method. Another rule is that whenever, for instance, for the print line method, println method, or for the write line method, you can call another method within println or write line method if and only if this method returns a value. In our next lecture, we will discuss what is called returning value and what happens when you return a value. For instance, let me do it quickly. See here, what is doing this function? This function returns the sum of the numbers, right, of a series, like from the lower number it will get some of the numbers from num1 to num2. So instead of returning the sum, it is making the sum over here. Give attention for 2 minutes, please, everybody. So for instance, if I return 100 over here, so what will be output of this program? What will be output of this line? What will be output this line? What will be output this line? If I return 100 instead of sum. Previously it was sum, but I want to return 100. So what will be my output? 100 in all cases. So return value is an important element or statement of your function. No matter what you do inside your method, if you do not return an appropriate value, your program will not be working, right? So no matter what you do in this function, if you return 0, so then their output of this function will be 0. Okay, so in this sometimes you see that you will write a program, it will not work. For instance, you will write a code, you will not get point. you will lose point, right? For instance, that means one of the most frequent scope that you will mistake at the last line of your function, and you will lose point. So this is an important message. How can I give this message so that you can remember this thing forever? How can I tell like this? That you must return, you must be care about the last line of your, that the return statement of your method. So in no matter what you do with a function, if you do not return exact or expected value, it will not give you an expected result. So you will lose your point. And similar thing for C# and for Java. If I return 1, for instance, over here, okay, instead of sum, then this program will give me 1, all 1 values, okay. So it was not my expected result. I wanted to return sum, so I need to return sum, okay. And similarly for this program, if I return 0, then it will give me 0. You see that our program compiler will not give me any warning or error message, but our program will give me wrong result. Okay, so far whatever we discussed tonight, if you understand this, then you should be able to start writing a very simple program in all 3 languages. And this is my homework I am giving you tonight. Then please practice this program. Very simple, this program. Copy this program in your account and practice it in all 3 languages, not only in your lab language. Okay, I do not have any relation with your lab language. I will never ask you, I will never care what is your lab language. I will care that I will teach you everything in all 3 languages, and you have to learn in all 3 languages. Do not misunderstand, please. Thank you so much. And if you have any question, please let me know.